All right, let's get started. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is the Monday edition of Stop Losing, Start Trading. IPCR introducing the best acronym in DeFi, as the title said. Increase profits, control risks. Before digging too deeply into this, yes, Rosalie is here. We go through a educational purpose type of stream where I teach Rosalie how to trade options. She's getting really good at it. She's gonna teach everyone else at the company, I'm sure, very soon. We're trying to find the best practices, demonstrate the thought process between setting up options to make sure that everyone understands that options aren't that. It's not a black box. It's actually very very straightforward if you know the mechanism. So Rosie's been doing great. We discussed this, and the intern decides to trade or not. It's not financial advice. This is all entertainment. But yeah, without further ado, anything new on your side, Rosalie? How have you been?
Hi, yeah, good morning. I'm doing good today. I was looking at the market. Everything is looking green, so very surprised to see that, but obviously I'm very happy. Um, yeah,
Pumping, yeah.
it's pumping. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a short term, long term. We've been heard before, of course. It's good to mention that we launched Panoptic in December. The price was 4,000. Now it's an inch above 2,000. So we've seen a lot of losses. And we'll cover this today. Even us and the trading team here with the intern, they've seen some pretty violent moves, but it turns out that we were managing risk properly. None of us, at least the intern, did not lose their shirt. But yes, everything looks green today. Seems like Bitcoin was leading the chart a little bit, but ETH is on the way up. Oh my god, yeah, not the 3 month view, but the one day definitely goes up again, closer to 2100. And even in at the week again, the week is going up a little bit. A lot of the downside move we've seen around ETH Denver are still persistent, but yes, that might be something going on in the markets. Bitcoin is also going up closer to almost 90K again. 7 days is also bullish. Very good to see this. And most altcoins too. So again, they all move very, very in a way that very correlated. I'd be suspicious of this Dogecoin price pump. Something.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this. I bought a bunch of Dogecoin a while back and it's just going down and I was really confused, but now I guess.
It is. Oh, look,
Yeah.
yes, on the way back up. uh, Whenever there's an Elon or something, the Doge, of course, they are getting ployed. But yes, any big announcement that relates to the Department of Government efficiency is a free publicity for Doge. One thing that I want to do today that we haven't done in a while is also look at the IV charts. So this is again for Volmex Finance, the EVIV, the Ethereum Volmex Implied Volatility Index. We haven't spent too much time looking at volatility charts. So again, maybe I'll throw the ball at you, Rosalie. What does it? So IV, it's a different way to trade, but yeah, what do you see here if we look at the last 3 months worth of IV data?
Yeah, I guess it looks pretty consistent with some spikes. Um,
Big
but
stripes,
yeah,
yeah.
some big spikes, but what is it at? Okay, 66. So that's not too crazy, right? For Ethereum. It's
Yeah, and one thing to notice is that IV, it's a different scale. It's orthogonal. It's hard to know is it high or low. That's why these charts are very useful, and that's why also I think I see this show it as well. If you look at either percentile or IV rank, you want to compare it to itself. And the one thing that again I want you guys to notice is that it's actually lower than it's been for the last 3 months. It's on a local minimum. It can never go to zero. It can never go to 10,000. So it's kind of range bound. But what we see is that it's definitely on the lower end of its 3 month history. So being low IV is a different environment than a high IV. So I don't know if you remember, but yeah, what should people do when they see IV being less or yeah, and then what it used to be in terms of options trade?
um buy options, right? If it's really high IV, it's better to sell.
Exactly. At least the better signal is sell when it's high, and what we see is that big spikes that happen. This coincides with a big price move, so you expect the IV to go down after violent moves. People are spooked. It's on trade, and when it's lower, it's when people are maybe more complacent. They only buy once every day, or every week, or every 3 weeks. There's not much activity, so that may be in a weird way priming the um, market for a explosion of volatility. So yes, the IV being very very low, close to its minimum over the past 3 months, means that you may not want to sell options if you don't have to, and you can even buy an option. And typically, the we've seen a lot of downward move, but when the price collapses, IV spikes. In crypto, when it also shoots up, sometimes the IV spikes. So straddles might be a better position than buying put options, but yeah, the IV seeing being that lowest it's been over the past few months is definitely a signal that hey, maybe buying options or not selling as much is one way to approach this. And let me see the Bitcoin. Turns out that the IVs are kind of not that correlated between the two, but yeah, Bitcoin as well towards the very very low end of the spectrum, almost as low as it was in late February, February 25th. Let's see, from February 25th to now, in a month, it went up and down by quite a large margin from 50% to 60 back to 50. And if we're to look at the exact same price action, and this is where you can see somewhat sometimes some types of correlation, but early February, big price move, lots of volatility in terms of price action. Now it's been more quiet. Now it's back to where it was. So a lot of what you see is that there's a huge market scare, bullish event, people are rushing to trade, then you slowly kind of stop trading and you get to a point where it's a bit more stable. So yes, that price here is same IV as this other price, but one is 96,000, the other one is 90K, 88K.
I'm curious to see what our IV says as well, because I know we factor in
Oh,
measuring it to itself.
yes, that's true. So actually, let's jump right into the. Oh no, yeah, not the BTC. The we do the pair correlation. So it's BTC ETH, which is two crypto assets. It's actually 30%, but that's expected. It's actually lower because the two assets are so correlated, and the IV percentile is 47. So actually, let me go back to ETH, which is the most liquid and the one that is a bit more accurate. If we remember, we had a EVIV IV of 67%. Oh, interesting. So the IV is very low actually on the ETH USDC pair, much much lower than the EVIV or the Ethereum IV that is based out of Deribit and maybe even IBIT. So maybe even more so. Now it's lower, very very low on its spectrum. Buying options may be also a valid move, or maybe not selling as much is also another valid move. And since we're here, last week we have two positions open. These two are in range. They're printing money. We get paid up to, I don't know, in this case, $110 already in premia in 10 days. Let's go. This is the markets view. We see the whole of Uniswap and Panoptic markets. We have the open positions and the portfolio P&L of the whole position. In this case, it's also not super risky. We're still in range. We're in a flattish part, so that's fine. What I want to look at is last transactions for this account. We're spying on the intern. They closed the position, burned a position, I guess, 2 days, a day and a half ago. This was a put option that was open and closed. We can see from that transition kind of uh, chart that all the trades that had been made, they lost $10, unfortunately, 0.5% loss on that put option. We can also look at the option that's here. So if you, yeah, can we don't buy options often. And can you remind us why you bought or intern bought this option maybe?
Yeah, so this was a hedge because we were quite bearish and we wanted to protect ourselves on the downside.
And this coincided with the federal FOMC, the Federal Reserve announcement. It's a valid point to say a lot of times this was a quiet one, so it's fine. But you want to hedge temporarily. You want to make sure that you don't do it too frequently. But in that case, we opened this, held it for again 6 days ish, or even less than that, for like 3 days. Uh, the price at mint and the price at close are exactly the same or thereabouts. 2003, 2011. So this one is a hedge that did not work, but we paid $10 for that hedge. This could have protected us for hundreds of dollars of losses, even potentially if there's a big move. So this is the nature of hedging. You want to be like an insurance policy in case the worst happens, even though you don't hope for it. And if it does happen, if the price did collapse, you could have made $100, $200. In that case, no movement, very boring.
I think, yeah, intern might have closed it a little late. I think last time we checked, it
Yes.
was a little more profitable,
Yeah.
but
And
it's okay.
we'll try to optimize this. But yeah, there was I don't know. Yeah, when did we open it? It stayed pretty stable, but yes, there might have been a max profit time somewhere. Uh, but a lot of the time, when you buy options, it's a not a coin flip, but a big gamble. You want to see a lot of profits. You want to see it quickly. If not, better move on. And in that case, we should be happy we didn't lose more than 0.5%, which is great. So
Yeah.
ETH USDC, these trades are working for us. Market is sideways. This is how we make money. Back to the whole portfolio, we're making again $115 almost on that sale. That's very good. Which other market we have? Bitcoin ETH, we have Ticker Bitcoin, and also Eigen. So which market would you like to see that first?
Let's do BTC ETH.
Okay, yes, BTC ETH. This is a ratio trade. We have one that is still working for us. Let's have a quick look. It's a bearish trade, and uh, yes. Um, Again, how do you feel about this trade? Is it still worth keeping, or should we do something about it?
I think it might be time to do something about it. 17 days. It's been working so far, but since now the market's looking a bit brighter, maybe it would be better to take some more liquidity and move it um, in range from another
Okay, so
person.
this was a bearish trade 17 days ago. You kind of were right in terms of direction. The price is lower, and we're a bit more than halfway through. But as you mentioned, you may think this assumption may not be valid, or there might be a reversal. So you would close it and then be neutral, bearish, bullish, or what would be your new kind of point of view?
Maybe neutral to bullish. I definitely don't want to get in the range here where I'd have to pay for the option we bought. So I like the free option.
Perfect. So yes, that is where we. So it's in BTC, so I have to do some math. But yeah, we probably made. Is it $60 or $6? We made some money on the price move, some money on the uh, accumulation. Let's see. This on its own is making us $10, so $6, small size. So yes, I agree. We could certainly close it. It's worked for us. Maybe there was a reversal in the outcome, and yeah, might be worth cashing in these $8 worth of profits. There's also another one that we discussed and intern opened also a day and a half ago. And this one is also on the bearish side, but it's a neutral to bearish. It's fine to have a neutral to bullish trade so that the whole thing can maybe cancels out. And yeah, since I don't know if you recall exactly, but yeah, what was the setup and what is the uh, what do you see here in terms of payoff?
Yeah, I think since it's very new, it's good. We have okay range, and we're still kind of at the entry price, but it's quite um, neutral of a position, I would say. So I believe, yeah, it's good, and I'm sure it'll stay within this range. It's quite wide still. So
Yeah, and I think we should also be improving this, but we can look at the ratio. This is gonna make money between 0.17 and 0.017 and 0.027. So it's the ratio. It's a bit hard to track, but in that case, we can look at the range on the actual price here. And 0.17 is all the way down here, and 0.27 is all the way up here. So we are actually looking at the past, we haven't touched the 0.17 in ever. The 0.27 maybe a bit more lately, but overall, ratio's going down. Maybe we're at a low point, so in that case, it might still be worth kind of keeping this. But yes, you want to be sure that you have good understanding of the bounds, know when the profit and losses are. In that case, since it hasn't moved much, we're barely positive, but that's fine. This is a day old, 1 day, 2 hours, 26 hours old position. Not much more to do. So,
I would like to see those risk analysis charts
oh,
for this to know exactly when there might be something to think
yes.
about.
Again, we have something cooking up, and actually, people are paying attention. Someone from the watched the YouTube video, they saw the risk tab for their position. So let me clone out of that. Oh my god. Let me clone out of that. Try to find the risk tab for this position. Risk management, again, control risk, IPCR, CR. Control risk is very important. We want to show a lot more information than we do, and one of them is, yes, of course, the break-even points, but also the liquidation prices. When will you be in trouble, type of thing. So let me try to find this. But in the meantime, we can have a brief look at ticker Bitcoin. Ticker Bitcoin is working for us too, but yeah, we can have a look here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
saw it's up a little bit, so I was excited to see price shift, but I'm very good at buying all-time highs, so I'm still waiting.
So here, this is the this is the ticker Bitcoin. Again, meme coin. You can trade any options on any asset. This is extremely good looking chart, and the reason why is that the range that we're selling options to is still quite large compared to current price. We're collecting fees, 6% of pure fees over that position over the past 11 days, 12 days. The break evens now have breached the range on one side. So that means that we have protection so that even if the price leaves the range, we are actually still making money on the downside, and it may happen quickly when the upside as well. So that's actually a one of the best outcome. We're still in range, has moved a little bit, but there's not much price appreciation or change. It's actually pretty good. Go ticker Bitcoin being sideways type of thing. But yeah,
Could have put a little bit more margin in here, but
nah, that's fine. And maybe again, don't beat ourselves up because you size appropriately. And if it went the other way, you would have maybe regretted your choice of putting twice as much
true.
size. So that's kind of the name of the game. Start with something you're comfortable with. Be happy with the profits, and this one is maybe 10 big whole dollars of profit. Again, we're part of it is interns funds, but also kind of science appropriately. So that's another one. And Eigen is a similar one, delta neutral, also making money. This one is again about the same age. So yeah, both of those have been working pretty well for us. And yeah, there's not much more to do there.
Good. Yeah, I'm happy to see some green.
Yeah, I mean this is the goal. Lots of small wins. Don't put all your eggs in one basket for sure, but also position yourself in a way that will be making you money more often than not. And that's kind of the best way to see this. All right, so sorry, I'm furiously trying to fight Yarn and React to finally show me the preview of the risk tab. Let me try again. So the risk tab again is a lot of what we want to do with the Panoptic interface is to show you professional level data, both the charts and analysis, but also risk management. We show the IV, we show the IV surface. Maybe we'll show it and get more explicitly in a future release. But that's kind of the way to think about this. And now we're having the new risk tab, which I don't know if it's broken. This is something we're working still. This is the ETH BTC ratio, and we have two positions that are open. They generate this whole payoff. We know how much exposure we have on the upside, on the downside. So we have kind of the profit per price, if you want. That's one way to look at this. Now, the risk analysis is something that's going to be coming, but it shows you the liquidation zones, or when will you get liquidated. And in that case, I think it's wrong because the collateral is less than required. So you would be liquidated all the time. So I think there's something wrong. My hints, you're not liquidated. So I'll have to take a look. Let's look at the eigen is one example, because this market eigen, some trading activity, some trading, but you're kind of one of the only sellers. So yeah, in that case, you're also in the green. You'll never get liquidated for a big price move. So again, without beating around the bush, the final version will likely be a bit more interesting to look at. Maybe finally, let's see. Hopefully, when we get liquidated on the USDC ETH. Oh yeah, so that's the thing we want to see. So oops, the fact that you have two curves. One of them is the required, one of them is your collateral balance. They will cross at some point, and it seems to be very far off. So that's another good position. You size appropriately, you limited your exposure. If the price goes down by quite a bit, we can try to kind of extend it. Maybe it's when it's $1,000 or less. If it goes up, maybe it's when it's 5K or more that you'll see a crossing point. But for now, wrong units, one units everywhere. But yeah, we see no crossing, nothing risky on that side. So that's something that will have something cooking up. It's probably going to be released next, release on Friday. But yeah,
Very cool.
and yeah, controlling risk is something that we don't necessarily see a lot in crypto. You'd want to kind of go 100x on your meme coin trades, but you don't see the risks that often. So that's something that we want to communicate. So yeah, how comfortable even yourself, Rosie, are you with taking risks with your investments?
Um, it depends. I think I've always felt pretty bullish, and I didn't really realize the risks that I might have been taking. And now, with option selling, I think I'm getting more understandable of risk and not, putting too much collateral in and not oversizing positions and being more delta neutral. But I think that's only because I'm using options specifically for that. I don't expect to make a crazy amount of money. I'm just hoping not to lose even more than I am with by holding. So
Yeah, and again, the I have a similar point of view as well with my own trading, and I'm sure a lot of people, they don't always want to be gamblers, but maybe they gambled for a while and then they have sour taste in their mouth. There's a different way, which is a little bit more uh, controlling the risks a bit better, making sure you have a good handle of your profit potential and zones. If you think about it, a 1000x possible 1000x increase in profit means that there's likely a very small chance of it happening. Otherwise, everyone would do the same trade. Similarly, when you do an option, you can say, I'm going to be 50%, 60%, or 80% right. And because you're putting the odds in your favor, you get paid a bit less. So it's a trade off. There is, if it's only that trade off and the spectrum, it might not be lots of interest, but there's also always inefficiencies, a lot of stuff that can happen. So, very, very cool. I think that's it for today. So again, increased profits and controlling risks is kind of what allows you to be a bit more again in control overall with options, and this is kind of what we're trying to teach here. So yeah, any last words, Rosalie, or maybe any other coins or strategies you want to explore next time?
yeah, I would love to trade some PayPay. I think there's been a little bit more activity there, and I'm curious to do some
PayPay.
more
Is this
meme coins.
is this on mainnet, or I
Yeah,
don't. Oh, let's see. Let's see if someone has created a pool, or maybe not. Interesting. Okay. Maybe we'll go through the process of creating a PayPay pool. Oh no, the Pay. Sorry, PayPay out there. I thought it was misspelled PayPay. Yeah, let's do PayPay next time. I love it.
that sounds good.
All right, so that's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining in. We're live on YouTube, live on Twitter as well. Nothing here is financial advice, but then this is all um, educational content about options trading. So learning from how the Panoptic team sees it. Internet tools really have learned a lot. Hopefully you have too. So all right, that's it. Thanks very much.
Bye.
See you